We'll start with 3 Omkara. Take a deep breath, inhale. Om. Om. Today being the Independence Day, the day to remember Bharata Mata and all her great Tyagaputras and Putris, will offer the Prarthana to Bharat Mata in Namaskara Mudra. Just repeat after me. Ratnakaram Dhautapadam Himalaya Kiritini Brahmarajarshi Ratnatyam Vande Bharata Mataram Vande Bharata Mataram. Bharat Mata ki Jai. Of course, before we go into the subject of today's discussion on the second day of the Bhakti Yoga Saptaha, being the Swatantra Divas, a little bit about our Bharata Mata. I need not have to say the glory of Bharat Mata to all the devoted children of Bharat Mata who have gathered here. You're all well aware of the glory. In fact, most of you are from Bharat. I miss Bharat in the physical structure today, but nevertheless, the Bharatiya spirit is more high. The Josh, how is the Josh? High, sir, even in Dubai here. And today, thanks to the network of social media, so I'm able to be connected everywhere, seeing Har Gar Tiranga everywhere. The flag hoisted. Earlier, the flag would be hoisted only in the Red Fort or in the schools, in the common places. But now, thanks to our Honorable Prime Minister, it has become Har Gar Tiranga. Everywhere that we are hoisting flags. That's very important. No more, it is to hoist the flag of Bharat in our heart. When we say Bharat, there are a lot of things, the glory of Bharat Mata. In fact, all the bhaktas, the Bhakti Mahatmyam, what we are seeing here is all from Bharata. But today, I would like to tell the glory of Bharata as seen in our Puranas. Especially for Bhakti Yoga, one of the foremost important scripture, the Shastra, is Srimad Bhagavatam. There is a Bhagavata Mahatmyam, the glory of Bhagavata as seen in the Padma Purana. Padma Puranam or the Padma Purana is one of the 18 Puranas written by Vedavyasa, in which we see the glory of Bhagavatam. The other Purana also supports the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Padma Puranam, we see some episode talking of the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. Where this story comes, it is very relevant to know probably the history of Bhakti. We are talking of Bhakti Yoga. So the history of Bhakti Yoga is also that way, in a way, touched. What is the story? Yesterday I was telling you about the profounder of the path of Bhakti Yoga. The greatest master of Bhakti Yoga, who is none other than Sri Narada Maharishi. Narada Maharishi, once it so happened that he was, as usual, in a sojourn, traveling around. As he was going, when he came to the bank of river Yamuna, he happened to see a beautiful young woman. And next to her were 2 kids. But these 2 kids were looking more older, tired, diseased. They were not with energy. They were not joyful and playful. So Narada was quite puzzled, curious to know who this young lady and who are these children, but who are tired, looking older. We see in a movie of Amitabh Bachchan, I think it is Pa, where though he is a school going child, but he was having a syndrome where he grew earlier, though, he grew older. In fact, that is what is happening today with most of the younger generation. When I see people like our Dhanlakshmi ji, Bharati ji, all, I feel very envious of them. Though elderly, but young at the spirit always, but even physically, you see the face, the charm, the glory that they have always, which we lack today. Even in the 30s, we seem to be older, like 50s, right? There are children who have already started calling me from Bhaiya to Tata. So that is the generation which we are there. And furthermore, people who are children who are younger to me are becoming much more older nowadays. My father hardly have any gray hair in his 70s, whereas his grandchildren today are having the hair to be more, in silver and all. Some wantingly coloring, some naturally also it is going to that extent, and the wrinkles on the face and the tiresome, the energy lessness, all which we see. So coming back here to the story, similarly were the condition of these two kids by the side of this young woman. Now Narada asked this young girl, come on, Mata, you seem to be a beautiful young girl, energetic, but your children seem to be old, tired. What is the scene? Why do I see like this? It is then when that lady, that young girl, started telling, sir, my dear Narada, I am none other than Bhakti. Aham Bhakti Riti Khyata. My name is Bhakti. Who is she? She is Bhakti Mata herself personified, speaking to Narada Maharishi. Narada, wow, so far I have heard of Bhakti, but I am seeing you today in person. Then Bhakti said, even I was like this, old, tired, with illness, before I came to this place, the bank of Yamuna in Vrindavan. We all know Mathura, Vrindavan, the Leela Kshetra of Shri Krishna. Bhakti had just then arrived there when Narada met her, right? And she says, until now, even I was tired, I was looking wicked, I was looking weak, I was looking older, until I came to this spot of the Yamuna bank. But as soon as I came here, as soon as I arrived here, I got my Yauvana. I became fresh, I became young, right? But these children are the same condition. They are yet to get their youthfulness. They are yet to become young, energetic further. And then she says her story, from where did she come from, how did she grow, etc. to Narada, in which she says, Utpanna Dravideshaham Vrittim Karnatake Gata Kvachin Maharashtre Gurjare Jiranam Gata. Utpanna Dravideshaham. I was born at the Dravida Desha. Who? Bhakti. She says, I was born at the Dravida Desha. So my master Shri Krishna Premi Anna used to elaborate on this, saying, why does she says Utpanna Dravidesha? Why she says I was born in the Dravida Desha? What is this Dravida Desha? I mean, in Tamil Nadu nowadays, you hear this. There are parties. The ruling party is Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, DMK, ADMK, Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, etc. You see here Dravida, we hear this. What is this Dravida? Dravida is nothing but it's a geographical location. There is no class, clan, etc. We are all the Aryas. We are all Bharatiyas put together. The geographical location, like we have the various states in the ancient time, the geographical location starting from Kanyakumari to Tirupati, up to Tirupati, which means it includes even Andhra Pradesh. Neela Tiraikadal Orathile Indru Dittam Tavam Sayam Kumari Yellai Vadamalavan Kundram Ivaridaye Pugal Mandikidakkum Dravida Nadu. So Neela Tiraikadal Orathile, people who can understand Tamil can understand the song of Bharatiyar. He says the blue ocean, mighty ocean of Kanyakumari, where Mother Parvati meditates. That is Kanyakumari is the southernmost tip. And Vada Malavan Kundram, the hill of Mal, not these malls. In Dubai, we see malls everywhere. It is not those malls, your Orion Mall, your what do you call the Dubai Mall, we have the Festival City Mall, the Burjuman Mall, everywhere malls here, not this mall. The mall here means Perumal, Tirumal. In fact, I say, these malls are named as malls because of that Perumal, because he is someone who gives us everything. Vishnu is called Perumal. He gives us anything and everything we want because he is Tirumal. He has Tiru. Agalagiler என்று alarmel mangai urayum marba. Alarmel manga Devi, without moving from him. When I say alarmel manga, I'm having darshan of Mahalakshmi here. So alarmel manga, the Mahalakshmi, is residing in his pocket all the time. And therefore he is Tirumal. Tiru is Lakshmi and he is Tirumal, one who gives us everything we want. So the hill station of Tirumal or Perumal, that is Tirupati, up to that is called Dravida Desha. Now therefore Bhakti says, I was born here. How? Because in the history of Bhakti, though we see Bhakti, the elements of Bhakti to be right from the Vedas themselves, even in the Veda, appreciating divinity in the presence of everywhere in the nature, we have Bhakti. Bhakti Yoga is definitely available in the Veda themselves. More in the conclusive portion of the Veda, the Upanishads, Bhakti is very much predominantly available. But in the ancient time, we see in the Krita, Treta, Dwapara Yugas, the Yuga Dharmas have been different. Bhakti has all been there. We have something called the Yuga Dharmas. We all are aware of the 4 Yugas. The first is Krita Yuga or the Satya Yuga. The second is the Treta Yuga. The third is Dwapara Yuga. And fourth, we are in the age of Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is called the age of darkness, right? So in the beginning, the Satya Yuga or the Krita Yuga, where people were more dharmic, the percentage of adharma was less. And in the Treta Yuga, it increased. In the Krita Yuga, it was 75 dharma, 25% adharma. In the Treta Yuga, eventually it became 50-50, Maska Chaska. And then again, in the third Yuga of Dwapara, it became 50-50, then 75-25. And now in the ratio of 90-10, 90% of adharma and 10% of dharma, because of dharmic people like you all who are here, but very less in the Sankhya, and therefore percentage is less. So coming back, therefore in the Krita Yuga, the Yuga Dharma has been dhyana or tapas. If people have to attain the Lord, what they would do, if they want to attain something, higher achievements, what they will do, it is tapas. What did Bhagirath do to bring Ganga to the earth? Bhagirath Prayatna was by standing on one leg and doing tapas. What did Dhruva, the small child yesterday was mentioning about Dhruva? What did Dhruva do to attain the Lord? Of course, he attained him in 6 months itself. What the Rishi Munis would take hundreds and thousands of years, Dhruva Maharaja attained in 6 months short period because of his age, innocence, the intensity of his tapas, but still he did tapas. You understand? He did tapas, the penance of standing in one leg. Dhruva also did tapas. So because that is a Yuga Dharma, tapas or Dhyanam. All Rishi Munis, everybody we see in the Puranas that they did. The second Yuga of the Treta Yuga, it becomes the Yajna. So when it comes to Ramayana, you see the mention of Yajnas more, even for Rama's birth itself. Right? How was Rama born? Because of the Putra Kameshti Yajna. Before the Putra Kameshti, we see the mention of Dasharatha performing the Ashwamedha Yajna. We see Vishwamitra, who is performing the Yajna, the Siddhashrama, and for the Yajna Samrakshanartham, he comes and takes Rama from Dasharatha, Rama Lakshmana, along with him. That is when Sita Kalyanam also happens. So all these things happen. The Yajnas were predominantly performed more and more. We see during the time of the Ramayana, which means the second Yuga is Treta Yuga, where Yajna has been the Yuga Dharma. And the third, the Dwapara Yuga, Archayan. It is Archana, Puja. Archana means it is a puja. So the sampradaya of doing puja, we see more in Mahabharata and all. That is where even the Vishnu Sahasranama, chanting of 1,000 names and doing puja of the Lord, Vishnu Sahasranama is a part of the Mahabharata, as we all know, Bhishma, Yudhishthira Samvada. So you see more of the puja pattadi, which started developing the temple worships and everything. You don't see much of the temples during the time of Ramayana. Yajnashalas were made more predominantly by the rishis. But then during the time of the third yuga, temples slowly come. We see the mention of temples being there. Tirtha Kshetras, Tirtha Yatras done by Vidura during the Mahabharata war. And even Balarama goes in Tirtha Yatra during the Mahabharata war. So the Pandavas, we see even today, if you go to many places today, you see this is the place where Pandavas, they had built the temple. You go to many places, even in the north it could be, in the south it could be, because they during their Vanavasa, they moved around in Tirtha Kshetra, except for the last year of Ajnatavasa, they moved around. So you see many places, temple, this is Arjuna did Pratishtha, this is Yudhishthira did Pratishtha, Bhima did Pratishtha, this is where Draupadi worshipped. You see this, all those temple worship slowly started during the time of the Mahabharata time. So Archayan, Puja, this is which came more. Kali Yuga, it is the Nama Sankirtana, which is the main aspect of Bhakti Yoga. Though temple worship also is part of Bhakti Yoga. Even the Yajna, when you do, or tapas you do with the element of that love, the divine love, that emotion is very much important, right? Even then the Yajnas of the power to give. That's why Asuras also get the power of the Yajnas, right? It's like a technology. Our Guruji, Dr. Nagendraji used to tell, the Yajnas are all like the technological aspect, technology. When you put things together, it works. Now there's a Zoom which we are using, it's technology. So you don't have to have so much of love, emotion, everything to make it happen. You just put things together, operate the way the laptop works, the Zoom, the app application works, everything works. Similarly, yajnas were such devices, if performed the right way. In fact, today many things do not work the right way because of the fact that we don't do them to the precision. There is a methodology. We have done everything to our anukula. The yajna kundas are also mini, we have modified to our requirements, everything. The woods, we are not sure whether it's properly taken from the appropriate trees and everything. The ghee itself is Nandini ghee, ready-made ghees which we purchase, whereas it should be properly then and there prepared ghee from the proper deshi cows. The fire is not from the lighter or the matchbox. They used to have separate stones from where the fire was brought. So such are the procedures for the yajna. Even now, they give enormous power if done in the same way. There are Atiratram and many yajnas which are proved even during this Kali Yuga, recent 21st century also. So if properly done, they give their prayojana. You don't have to have that bhakti emotion, but then you add that bhakti even to that yajna, it becomes much more a wonderful experience. So coming back, so in the puja, everywhere bhakti is required, but then the most important tool of bhakti yoga, like in the Raja Yoga, we see the most important tool to be the asana, pranayama, dharana, dhyana, etc. In Ashtanga Yoga, we know yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, dharana, dhyana, samadhi to be the main things, wherein the most tangible practical format of Raja Yoga to be the asana pranayama. Mainly that is what asana pranayama, to some extent the dhyana which we do. Similarly, in Jnana Yoga, the most tangible form of practice is Shravanam. What we are doing in a way is also Shravanam. That is the first step in Bhakti Yoga also. I'll come back to that, the steps in Bhakti Yoga. When I say, you will understand. So Shravanam is inevitable even in Bhakti Yoga also. But Jnana Yoga predominantly, the Shravanam, Guru Vakya Shravanam, Shastra Shravanam, Mahavakya Shravanam, hearing again and again. Then what you do Mananam, Nididhyasanam, then Jnana. So after hearing the Shravanam, then Manana. So thinking of it, contemplating on it, recollection of this, what is told by the Guru, and applying that, contemplating on that recollection, is the kind of the Mananam what we do. Hearing, then recollection, realization, then applying in the form of the meditation on the Mahavakya, the Upanishadic thoughts that I am not the body, I am Atma, Atma Swarupa is mine, and I am no way different from that Paramatma. So these are the Mahavakyas which we contemplate upon in the Nididhyasana state, and finally you realize that you are that Aham Brahmasmi, that experience when it happens, that is a jnana. That is the thing what we do in the practice of Jnana Yoga. So similarly, in Bhakti Yoga, when we say what is the most important tool of Bhakti Yoga, which is Nama Sankirtana. In the Kali Yuga, Harer Namaiva 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 Mama Jivanam Kalau Nasteva 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 Gatiranyata. In Kali Yuga, Kali Yuga, Nasteva 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 Gatir Anyata. There is no other Gati. Anya Gati. No other Gati, no other path. The easiest and the best way is Namaiva, Namaiva, Namaiva Mama Jivanam. When Kalau in Kali Yuga. Even we see in the other yugas also, where did Prahlada live? Prahlada lived in the Krita Yuga only. Even then he did the Namasmarana only. He did not do tapas like what Dhruva did. Prahlada did the Narayana Namasmarana because he learned it directly from the womb of his mother when he was there, from his guru, Narada Maharishi. Right? So, even then the Nama Sankirtana, what did Hanuman did even in the Treta Yuga, when Hanumanji was there with Rama, he did not do tapas. Of course, he was Rama himself was present flesh and blood for Hanuman. He did the Karma Yoga, the Seva of the of Rama. Bhakti was offered through Seva also, but more predominantly we see Hanuman to be chanting the name of Ramanama, right? So again, even in the second Yuga of the Treta Yuga, Nama Sankirtana was done predominantly by Hanuman also. And in the third Yuga of the Dwapara Yuga, even those Sahasranama, 1,000 names, but it is again the names of the Lord, right? 1,000 names of the Lord, Sahasranama. So Nama is there. That Sahasranama is also the Nama Sankirtanam. Even there, even in the thing what you see there, even in the Sahasranama, what you see there, in the end of it, Mother Parvati, she is concerned about all our didis, all our ladies of today, of the modern 21st century, that you may not have much time to do all those. Even to chant Sahasranama, sir, it takes half an hour, right? So they don't have time. In fact, my mother and all they were multitasking. She would be cooking, along with the cooking, she would be chanting. So music along with the chanting, Vishwam, Vishnu, Mashat, Karo, Bhuta, Bhavya, Bhavat, Prabhu. When she was saying Bhuta, even the sides, background music, cooker sound, shh, whistle will come, and the frying sound, the putting of the vegetable, and then the mustard seeds busting with all the sound effects. Bhuta, Bhavya, Bhavat, Bhuta, Grat, Bhuta, Vrit, Bhava, Bhuta, Atma, Bhuta. We used to be sleeping, and then all Bhutas used to come in our dream, and we get up. So multitasking along with the cooking, even the Nama Sankirtana of the Vishnu Sahasranama, Lalita Sahasranama. When Navaratri comes, that is the most dangerous time, because the Durga Saptasati, the war will happen. Chanda, Munda, everything will come. She will be still cooking, elaborate cooking for the Navaratri. And then also the chantings are very elaborate. So Parvati, taking a concern on our ladies, especially, wants a shortcut. Always ladies are very fond of shortcuts, So she wants Kena Upayena Laguna, Lagu Upaya. Right? She's asking Ishvara, Shiva, it's all good. All the 1,000 names Bhishmacharya have told, they were overhearing. When Bhishma was telling this to Yudhishthira in the end of Mahabharata war, Parvati Parameshwara, who was overhearing, now Parvati asked to Shiva, come on, oh Lord, this Bhishma has told Sahasranama, it all takes half an hour time to chant. Can we have a Lagu Upaya, a shortcut method? Then that is where again Ishvara Uvacha. What is Shiva saying? Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Ramanama Varanane. The Ramanama is equivalent to Sahasranama of the Lord, right? So giving this shortcut, Rama, 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 when we chant, you get the benefit of chanting thousands of names together. All those, why I'm saying, even in the Mahabharata time of the third yuga of Dwapara Yuga, you see the Nama Prabhava, the name of the Lord is mainly glorified then also. But in Kali Yuga, it is more the Nama in Sankirtana form. It is to sing, not just chant, not just a mechanical chanting of Rama, 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 or something. It is, even if you sing Rama, 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 or Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, or the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, or whatever it is putting into the Sankirtana format with the musical form, then it is much more rasarupaha, much more enjoyable. That is where Nama Sankirtana has been prescribed by Vyasacharya as the Yuga Dharma for the Kali Yuga. Now, having said this, coming back to the story of Bhakti, where did Bhakti get birth? She said, I was born in Dravida Desha, which means the southernmost part of Bharat, starting from Kanyakumari, I said, that is where Tamil Nadu starts. In fact, parallelly, Kerala also starts. The tip of Bharat, Kerala and Tamil Nadu in Kanyakumari, both converges there. So parallelly, Tamil Nadu and Kerala, today's, if you see the political geographical boundaries, and above that you have Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. All this put together. And then the Tulu Nadu, the coastal area of Mangalore, the Tulu Pradesha. So the Panchadravida, we call them. Dravida Desha is Panchadravida. What are they? Tamil, Malayalam, Kannada, Telugu, and Tulu. These are Panchadravida Bhashas. So when Bhakti says, I was born in the Dravida Desha, it includes all these Pradeshas. How come? The ancient most in the Bhakti Parampara, we see Alvars as the ancient most Acharyas of the Bhakti Parampara. In the Kali Yuga, I told, even in the previous Yugas, you have great Bhaktas. Right? There's a beautiful shloka, which I will chant. In fact, you can all repeat after me, getting to know these names. Prahlada, Narada, Parashara, Pundarika, Vyasa, Ambarisha, Prahlada, Narada, Parashara, Pundarika, Vyasambarisha, Vibhishana, Bhishma, Dalbhyan, Rukmangada, Arjuna, Vasishta, Vibhishanadin, Punyaniman, Paramabhagavatan, Smarami. What are the names mentioned here? Prahlada, Narada, Parashara, Pundarika, Vyasa, Ambarisha, Shuka, Saunaka, Bhishma, Dalbhyan, Rukmangadarjuna, Vasishta, Vibhishanadin, Punyaniman, Paramabhagavatan, Smarami. All who were available in the previous 3 yugas, before the Kali Yuga, all the Parama Bhagavata. Bhagavata means the Bhakta. In fact, I will tell you more on the term Bhagavata. Who is a Bhagavata? Bhagavadottama. I will elaborate a little later. So here he is called a Bhagavata. Who are they? Prahlada, Narada, Parashara, Pundarika. Means Pundalika. Prahlada, Narada, Parashara, Pundarika, Vyasa, Ambarisha, Sukha, Saunaka, Bhishmadalbhyan, Rukmangada, 10. Arjuna, Vasishta, Vibhishanadin. So 13 names are mentioned here as great Bhagavadottama. Right? So they were all there earlier. But in the start of Kali Yuga, Bhakti in the form of the Nama Sankirtanatmaka Bhakti. As she was born, she says, I got my birth because of the compositions of the great Bhaktas. Even in the Bhagavata Puranam, it is told, Kalau Kalu Bhavishyante Narayana Parayanaha. In the Kali Yuga, lot of devotees of the Lord will be born. Then in the previous yugas, everywhere you see Sarvatra kalu drishyante sadhavo dharmacharinaha. Rama says in the Ramayana, everywhere you see all the dharmacharis, I see people who follow dharma are more there everywhere. There is no scarcity of them. Only we are not able to see them and recognize them. So in the Kali Yuga, the Nama Sankirtana Preeti Bhakti in the form of Nama Sankirtana was started by more of the Alvars, who are the ancient most Bhaktas or Bhagavatas, the profounders of the path of Bhakti. Alvars they are called. They were 12 in number. The Alvars are 12 in number, 11 male and 1 female. I'm so happy to see that name here. We have Andalu Amma here. From Puttaparthi, I think from Anantapur district, she is there, right? From the Satyasai University, Andal Amma is there. So, Andal is one of the Alvars. What does the word Alvar mean? One who has deeply got immersed in the ocean of Bhakti. Ala hogidavaru. In Kannada, Ala we say. Ala means depth. Even Tamil also Alam. So one who got immersed deeply into the ocean of Bhakti of the Lord is called Alvar. Andal is one who ruled over. She did not go deep into the ocean through her Bhakti, even though she is a woman, right? So she ruled over the Lord. The Lord came and married her. That's a long story. Some other time I would narrate. Like Bhaktas of the previous yugas, the gopis, Yata Vrajagopikanam, Anda lived in the Kali Yuga, but she did the penance through her Nama Sankirtana, composing songs on the Lord. In fact, coincidentally, I would say the number of songs which Andal composed on Lord Krishna, you know what is the number? It is 143. So Krishna came and married her because she composed 143. 143 is the number I love you. So through those 143 songs, she conveyed the message of I love you to Krishna, and he came and married Andal. Even today in Srivilliputtur in Tamil Nadu, you see her temple to be there. So she is one of the Alvars, including her father Periyalvar, Nammalvar, all the Alvars put together. There are 12 Alvars who are there. These are the foremost in the Kali Yuga, the ancient most devotees, the Bhaktas, who started the Bhakti Parampara. And contemporaries for them were also Shiva Bhaktas. There were 63 Nayanmars. Bhakti is common, whether it is Vishnu Bhakti or Shiva Bhakti, Krishna, Rama, Shiva. Among the forms of God, we don't have any Bheda. We all know in our Sanatana Dharma, Ekam Sat Vipraha Bahuta Vadanti. Paramatma is one. He is seen in different forms and worshipped in different forms, right? Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa gives a beautiful analogy, example. You have a vast ocean. Even yesterday I told you Paramatma is the ocean and we Jivatmas are the waves of the ocean. So in this vast ocean of Paramatma, who is formless? Do you have any form for the ocean? It is formless. It is limitless. It is Kanda, Adbhuta. But same time, when the temperature increases, when the temperature, the temperature decreases, now it is decreasing more and more. I'm getting frozen here because of the air condition here. Similarly, when the temperature decreases more and more, when it becomes chiller and chiller, what happens to the water in the ocean or the sea? It gets frozen, its forms, ice, snowbergs, whatever it is, the different forms of the ice it forms, right? Similarly, Ramakrishna says, because of the chillness of the bhakti, the more the bhakti, the love, the emotion the devotee shows upon the Lord, the chillness, it frozens the Lord and he takes different forms. Ye yadamam prapatyante tams tadaiva bhajamyaham. Whomsoever looks me in whichever form, as Krishna, as Rama, as Shiva, as Hanuman, as Buddha, as Jesus, in whatever form it is, Ekam Sat, one is the truth. He takes different forms, right? This is what we see, the different forms and names of the Lord which are there. So Shiva, Vishnu, Hari, Hara, there is no Veda. We know that they're all the one and the same. And therefore, Alvars, the 12 of the devotees, the ancient most, who were from the end of the Dwapara Yuga and the beginning of Kali Yuga. Similarly, we see 63 are the Nayanmars who are Shiva Bhaktas. from all different occupations. I won't call them as caste community or something. We don't have that at all. It is all just later the invaders who created. But we had different professions. You have someone who is a king, someone who is a priest, someone who is a pot maker, someone who is a carpenter, someone who is a wood seller, someone who is a chariot maker, someone who is a driver, someone who is a snake charmer, someone who is a hunter, someone who is a singer, someone who is a musician, someone is one who makes the musical instrument. We have different people from different occupations, but all were one the same in their bhakti towards the Lord. As yesterday we saw, bhaktya tushyati kevalam nacha gunehi. Lord doesn't see what occupation you do. Even you are a hunter, doesn't matter. You are a priest, doesn't matter. You are a raja, doesn't matter. You are a beggar, doesn't matter. Right? Tukaram, the great devotee, he cries to the Lord Panduranga, make me a beggar. Deva hoina bhikhari, pandari chavar kari, pandari chavar kari, deva hoina bhikhari. Even I become a bhikhari, a beggar, but I should be begging in Pandarpura. That is what is important. Doesn't matter what you are. So from different occupations, different professions, we have bhaktas. So 63 Nayanmars, you see a variety of them, even women, like Karekal Ammayar, Punidavati, you see all of them to be there. Mangair Karasi, all those people to be women also equally there in the list of the Nayanmars. So Bhakti says, I was born from Dravida Desha, which means she was born through the songs, the compositions of these Alvars and Nayanmars, the ancient most devotees. And later you see even in the same, Tamil Nadu, different composers, like for Subramanya, Arunagirinathar, Tirupugal, he had composed. Many saints have come. In Kerala, you see again, Narayana Pattadri, who composed the Narayaniam, Poondanam, who composed the, which is called Jnanapana, the song which we sing often, Krishna Krishna, Mugunda, Janardana, that is Jnanapana, which is composed by Poondanam. Lot many devotees, they are slowly moving. Even in the Andhra Pradesha, when we say up to Tirupati, I said, right? What more than the great Annamaya, Annamacharya, who said Brahma Mokate para, Brahma Mokate para, Brahma Mokate para, Brahma Mokate, Tandanana para, Tandanana bhada, Tandanana. So Annamaya, Bhadrachala, Ramadasadu, Potanna, who composed the Bhagavatam, all great bhaktas, right? All great Venkamma Devi, all great bhaktas whom we see, even in the Telugu Bhasha also equally giving. Then Bhakti says, I was born here in the Dravida Desha. Then afterwards I should go to schooling. So I went to the elementary schooling in Karnataka, Vriddim Karnatake Gata. I grew up in Karnataka. When it comes to Karnataka, how many great kshetras, the Udupi, Melkote, even Kishkinda, Hampi Kshetra, where Purandaradasa himself lived. So in all those kshetras, the Shiva kshetras of Kodala Sangama, where we have the Jangamas, Dasa Sahitya at one side, the Jangama Sahitya at other side. Again, Shiva, Vishnu, both together. When it comes to Vyasa Raja, Vadi Raja, Purandaradasa, Kanakadasa, Gopala Dasa, Jagannatha Dasa, Vijaya Dasa, all those people who composed lot of Dasa Sahitya called the Devaranama, right? In which Nama Sankirtana is the main tool with which all of them, Purandarasa Tamburi Miti Dava, Bhavapti Tati Dava, Talavatatti Dava, Surarudu Seri Dava, Gajaya Katti Dava. So Lajjaya Bittu, Gajaya Kattu, Anandavagi Nardana Maduvantaha, Dasa Parampare in Karnataka, which brought the devotion, bhakti, yoga much more, right? Similarly, we see the compositions of the Jangamas, the Shiva Bhaktas who are there in the Lingayat Parampara, Veerashaiva Parampara of Basavanna, Allama, Kamma Devi, all those also Shiva Bhakti, what beautiful compositions, right? Who brought Jnana also in the form of beautiful compositions, the Advaita also in the compositions. So we have all those which nourished Bhakti. So she says, Vriddim Karnatake Gata. I grew up more in Karnataka. Kwachin Maharashtra. Furthermore in Maharashtra. Maharashtra is called Mahayoga Peetam. Adi Shankaracharya, out of all his compositions, in this composition called Pandurangashtakam, he says, Mahayoga Pite Tate Bhimaratya Varam Puntarikaya Dhatu Munindraihi Samagatya Tishtantamanandakandam Parabrahmalingam Bhaje Pandurangam Parabrahmalingam Bhaje Pandurangam Parabrahmalingam Bhaje Pandurangam. He says Mahayoga Pite. In fact, our ashram recently, what we have started in Bangalore, we call it as Yoga Pitam. I was supposed to name it as Mahayoga Pitam only. That is the term given by Adi Shankara himself. But Maha means what? Great, right? Maha means why we call Lakshmi. Okay, Mahalakshmi, why? Because she is the greatest among all the Ashtalakshmi. So Mahalakshmi. Mahan. Maha means great. Atma. Mahatma means greater Atma. Maha Shabda is for greater. Again, the same Adi Shankaracharya, when he says, what is the greatest? In Viveka Chudamani, he says, Moksha Sadhana Samagriyam, among all that which gives you the moksha, Bhakti Reva Garirasi. Bhakti Reva Garirasi. That great, the Mahan is Bhakti. And therefore, the Maha Shabda should be substituted by Bhakti. So, Maha Yoga Pitam became Bhakti Yoga Pitam. In Pandharpur, the Pitam where Panduranga Vittabha is established, Shankaracharya calls it as Mahayoga Pitam, where Panduranga is established. The brick, the small brick on which Lord Mahavishnu Panduranga is standing there, that is called Mahayoga Pitam. And what is the yoga that all the people practice there? All the devotees, do they come and stand in Vrikshasana or Shirshasana and practice that yoga there? No. Do they all do the Mahavakya Shravanam and do the Nididhyasana there? No. What is the yoga that all Hatha yoga? Do they do the Jalaneti and Sutraneti there? Panduranga perhaps will run away. If every devotee go there and do Jalaneti, Sutraneti or Kapalabhati in front of Panduranga, he will run away. He himself is there because of the Bhakti Yogam, which is practiced by all the devotees. And therefore, that is called Mahayoga Pita. So, Bhakti grew up. Bhakti did her PhD there in Maharashtra. That is why it is called Mahayoga Pitam. That Rashtra itself is called Maharashtra because not just the size of the Rashtra, not any other greatness of the Rashtra. It is because of, it is Bhakti everywhere in Maharashtra. Lot of sadhu sons there. Nivritti Jnana Dev Sopana Mukta Bai Ekanatha Jnana Dev Tukharam. Nivritti Jnana Dev Sopana Mukta Bai Ekanatha Jnana Dev Tukharam. Ekanatha Namadev Tukharam. Ekanatha Namadev Tukharam. Ekanatha Namadev Tukharam. Ekanatha Namadev Tukharam. So many, just samples of these names I have taken. There is Maha Bhakta Vijayam. If we start telling the Maha Bhakta Vijayam, days will not be sufficient. Hundreds of stories of the Bhaktas of Panduranga alone, from Pandarik Kshetra alone. That is Maha Bhakta Vijayam. Those many devotees all nourished Bhakti through their composition called Abhangs. The Alvars wrote Divya Prabandham. The Nayanmars wrote the Tirumurai. And then the Dasas, they wrote the Devaranama. Tyagaraja, Bhadrachala Ramadasa, Annamaya, they all wrote Kirtanas. And the Maharashtra sons, the Kavis of Maharashtra, they all wrote Abhang. They all wrote the Marathi Abhangs, which are there, through which Bhakti was nourished. Furthermore, they all gave a lot of contributions, composing a lot of Abhangs. And that is how Bhakti said, I grew up. Then she stopped. She said, I grew up throughout the Bharat. From Maharashtra, she went everywhere. To this side, to the eastern side, you see in Odisha, Jayadeva, through his Ashtabadi Gita Govindam. And then you see in West Bengal, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Mayapur. Again, he lived in Puri, again in Odisha only. So those days, Gauda Desha, Odisha and West Bengal all were looked into one particular territory, Gauda Desha, where Jayadeva Goswami, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, his Sishyas, the Shat Goswamis, all of them who were there. Lalita Vidyapati, all those great devotees who were there. And from there, even in the northeast, today I'm wearing the shawl. Every day I will be wearing very remarkable shawls. Yesterday, the shawl I was wearing is from Vrindavan, from Barsana, Radha's Prasada. It's a birthplace of Radha Rani, Barsana. If you have seen Radhe Radhe, the peacock and all, it is from Barsana. So today's shawl, this is from Assam, from Guwahati, from Assam, from northeast, where the Sampradaya of Shankaradev, it's a Vaishnava Sampradaya, Bhakti Sampradaya of Shankaradev. Even the Manipur dance, now we are talking of Manipur, the problems and all there, riots which are happening in Manipur. The Manipuri dance, was what it is, the Manipuri very beautiful dance. It is Rasa Leela of Krishna. The gopis, you see only one male in every Manipuri dance, you will see one male and many female. It is Krishna and the gopis doing Rasa Leela in their costume style. So everywhere, Bhakti is what is there. Without Bhakti, our culture is not there. Without Bhakti, our Rashtra is not there. Desha is not there. Even in the northeast, you see this Bhakti Sampradaya of Shankaradev. This side, in the west, you see again from Maharashtra, this side in Gujarat, you have Narsingha Mehta and Vallabhacharya who gave the Pushti Marga. Even Jammu Kashmir, great many devotees of the Shakti Path and all were there. And like this in Uttar Pradesh, Suradas, the Ashtadasas who were there, Mirabai from Rajasthan, from Rajput, again came to Uttar Pradesh and then in the Braja Desha. All everywhere you see Bhakti grew up. And finally, she said, the more I went towards north, sorry, North Indians should excuse me, because it is told in the Puranam, I'm telling it. Gurjare Jiranam, especially if there is any Gujaratis, forgive me, it said, Gurjare Jiranam Gata. After going to Gujarat, mene tag gayi. Kyo? My guru used to say, Gujaratis, you see the way they do, everything will be in a grand way. Money is there more. Now there's going to be a big temple here in UAE, Abu Dhabi coming, built by the Gujarati sadhus of the Swaminarayan Sampradaya. Shardam, you just go there and see the grandeur, right? So the more external paraphernalias grew up more and more. Even on Ekadashi day, you go to a Gujarati's house, then the varieties of Ekadashi Prasada. It is so much, right? So the grandeur, the external paraphernalia started more and more, and the essence of Bhakti slowly. The grandeur, the more you see crowd, people are coming more and more. You see the North Indian kathas happening. Much more, all decorations, the paraphernalia, more and more people, crowd comes, singing, dancing, pomp and show are more. But maybe the essence of Bhakti we lose in that. The simpler it is, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. Even just a small one tulasi or the water toyam or one phala, like we sang yesterday, right? How Shabari gave that fruit, how Gajendra offered the flower, how just one drop of tulasi which Rukmani offered. So that is what is more important. What we offer externally is not important. The true Ananya Bhakti, what we offer is important. So the shloka says, when I went more towards the north, now slowly I became tired. I got Vridapya, I was old, tired. Then somehow Bhakti, along with her, the children who are there. Now, who are the children? I didn't tell you that. Narada asked her now, Mother, okay, I understood you are Bhakti, you are born in Dravida Desha, you grew up in Karnataka, you did your higher studies in Maharashtra, and further you went around the country to east and west, north and south, everywhere you went, and finally North India jaake aap to tak gayi. Okay, or how did you come here to Vrindavan? And who are these kids? I was looking for some solution, alas for me, then slowly walking around. When I reached Vrindavan here to the bank of Yamuna, because it is Krishna's Leela, the sons, the Bhagavatam, everything brought me back my Shakti. So I became young here when I came to Vrindavan, the land of Bhakti. But still my children who are Jnana and Vairagya. Who are the kids of Bhakti? Jnana and Vairagya. So if Bhakti comes to you, you are buying Bhakti. Now you are attending the course on Bhakti Yoga. What do you get in addition? Buy one, get two free. You are buying Bhakti. Even this is also given free only. But even then, along with that, what is coming to you? Two, which are jnana and vairagya. Both are coming. If you have bhakti, the devotion, you will have jnana and vairagya also for sure coming. That is what is told. This is a symbology. Story is a symbology. Tattva is important. If you have bhakti, devotion towards Lord, then what do you get? Jnana and vairagya are the two things that we get. So these came here, but still they are tired. That's why I didn't know. I was coming here to find out solution for my kids. How do they get their youth? How do they get their vitality? Then Narada goes to his gurus. Narada's gurus were Sanakadi rishis, his elder brothers, Brahmaputras, Sanakadi rishis, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, Sanat Kumar. If you see Dakshinamurti Shiva, the four rishis were sitting under him, or the ancient most yogis, the Sanakadi rishis, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, Sanat Kumar. So Narada goes to Sanat Kumara, his guru, and he says, it is only through Bhagavatam, Krishna Katha. She came to Krishna's land of Braja Vrindavanam and she got her Yavana back. But Jnana and Vairagya can come only through the glories, the pastimes of Krishna, Krishna Katha. That is what is Bhagavatam. Bhagavan, ultimately Lord is called Bhagavan. I will tell you tomorrow why he is called Bhagavan. And the glory of Bhagavan is called Bhagavatam. And one who is able to see the glory of Bhagavan everywhere, Yesha Bhagavadottamaha. He is called a Bhagavadottama, a devotee, a bhakta, is one who can see Bhagavan's glory, the Bhagavatam, everywhere, sarvatra. Sarvabhudeshi yapashyed Bhagavan Bhavanatmana, Bhutani Bhagavatyatmani, Yesha Bhagavadottama. He is a Bhagavadottama who is able to see the presence of the Lord, the glory of the Lord everywhere. That is how Bhagavan, Bhagavatam, and Bhakta or Bhagavata. And what is that which connects Bhagavan, Bhagavata, and Bhagavata, Uttama? It is Bhakti, which is the interconnection, the thread which connects all these beautiful flowers into a garland. It is Bhakti. So if Bhakti comes, automatically Jnana and Vairagya comes. And Jnana, Vairagya becomes much more youthful, powerful, effortful when Bhagavatam, Bhagavan's glory comes. Otherwise, Vairagya is not easy to get. Jnana is not easy to get. So it's only through knowing the glory of the Lord it is possible. So based on that, Sanat Kumara, the Sanakadi rishis, does the Upadesham of the Bhagavata Katha, through which Jnana and Vairagya also got their Yavana is a story, the moral of the story. So it's Bhagavata Mahatmya as I told. But my point here is, what did you see here? You saw the glory of Bharat, the glory of India as one nation, thousands of years back, starting from Kanyakumari, the bottommost tip of our country. Ratnakara Dhauta Padam, the shloka which I chanted in the beginning, Ratnakara, which is the ocean. Ratnakara, the Indian Ocean, where the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal come and converge, right? The Sagara Sangama, Ratnakara Dhauta Padam, that is where the 2 foot of Bharata Mata. And what is a Kiritam? The crown on her head. Himalaya Kiritini. She has Himalayas as her Krita, the crown on top of her head. And the beautiful ornament she is having, Bharata Mata's ornaments, Brahma Raja Shiratnatya. All the Brahma Rishis and Raja Rishis, the great Bhaktas, the great Avatara Purushas, Yendaro, Mahanubhavalu, all those Mahatmas are the beautiful ornaments, the jewels. Each one are adoring her more and more, more and more, more and more by her presence, by their presence, by their beautiful divine compositions, by their contributions to this Adhyatma Bharatam. It is not just mere Bharata, but Adhyatma Bharata, what we see here through the great Bhaktas, and that is the glory of Bharata Mata. And Swami Vivekananda, with a small incident on this occasion, I will conclude. 2 more minutes I will take to conclude. Swami Vivekananda, we all know he went to the West, to the USA, to Chicago, to Parliament of Religion in the year 1893 to speak in the Parliament of Religion on the glory of Sanatana Dharma. And that one epoch-making speech made him to stay for 4 long years. In the year 1897, January 26th, 1897, January 26th, Vivekananda lands back, comes to India. and he landed up at Rameshwaram. In fact, he came to Colombo in Sri Lanka via the big ship from Colombo to Rameshwaram in a small boat. And then near Rameshwaram, there's a small island, Kundugol, where from the boat he was about to set his foot into the Bharat. That time, lot of youngsters gathered there. The king of Ramnath, Sethupathi Raja, everybody, thousands of people have gathered there to give a warm welcome, a triumphant welcome to Vivekananda. When the youngsters asked him, Swamiji, you went 4 years back to USA and then you did not come back. For one lecture you went and 4 years you stayed there, right? What people will ask him. Now I have been here since 2-3 months at UAE. So when I go to Bharat, all our people ask, Bhaiya, kaisa tha Dubai, how was it? What did you see? What did you bring for us? They are asking, right? 4 years he was there. And so people are asking. Swamiji said, they all thought, India is, I'm telling about 150 years back, India is full of dust, here poverty, this and that, America is better. This is what we expect Vivekananda to tell. That is what most of our IT boys will say today. But what did Vivekananda say? He said, I loved my country much more when I went to America. But after being there in the Bhoga Bhumi for 4 years, when I come back here to India, every dust of India is pavitram to me. Every dust particle, every sand particle is looking like chandan, it's looking like vibhuti, looking like kungum to me, saying that he did not put his feet down on the earth of Bharat. He put his head down and did namaskaram to Bharat, taking the mud of Bharat, putting on top of hhis head, chandan hai is desh ki mati, tapo bhumi har gram hai, har bala, devi ki pratima, bacha, bacha, Ram hai. That's what Vivekananda did, pranams to India, seeing every dust particle of India is looking sacred to him. Telling this, I bring you back to 1960s, where we had the Indo-China war. After the war settlement is over, the Chinese premier who was here went around to different places of India. And when he had gone to our own Karnataka, he had gone to Mysore. He was staying in a royal, guest house of Mysore, and he went for bath. And when he was taking bath, oh, la, 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 he got some fragrance from the soap, which he has never experienced in China. What is this wonderful, unique fragrance I'm getting? So he came half the way during his bath outside and asked the people around, what is this soap? How do I get this fragrance? Then you know what the answer was? The people said, sir, this is Mysore. And the soap is Mysore sandal soap. And China, whenever they see the best of it, you know what it happens. So they want to copy it. So he immediately went back to China and said, we have to make these sandal soap here. So how do we do it, sir? We don't have a sandal tree at all in China. Okay, get it from India. So they ordered thousands of sandalwood saplings from India and took it there and planted it all there around China. In a few years, it all grew taller. They had some mechanism of artificially making the tree taller also in a short span. Trees were grown taller, oil were extracted, soap factories are already made, and they made the sandal soap, not the Mysore sandal soap, the China sandal soap. And that day, for the first launch, free distribution was happened for all the soaps, and people all went for a samuhika snana, putting the soap, and everyone came out complaining, Are, apne jhoot bol diya. What happened? You said it will give fragrance, but I don't see the fragrance. It is, of course, making us clean, but the fragrance did not come. Then the Chinese government again launched a complaint in perhaps the UN or UNESCO, telling India cheated us. We ordered sandalwood saplings in India, and India cheated us. Right? Then they investigated the case, the UNO investigated the case and finally said, India has never cheated any country, anytime, even now has not cheated you. India has given sandalwood saplings only to you. But the greatness of sandalwood of India is in anywhere, any part of the world, it can grow taller. But the fragrance can come only in the soil of India, the bhumi of India, but not elsewhere. That is what Vivekananda said, Chandan hai is desh ki mati, tapo bhumi harigram hai. We will sing this beautiful song on this day of the Swatandra Divas and conclude. You can repeat after me. I'm sorry I couldn't make a share of the song, but it's easy. Hindi, many of you know it also perhaps. चंदन है इस देश की माटी, तपोभूमि हर ग्राम है, हर बाला देवी की प्रतिमा, बच्चा बच्चा राम है, बच्चा बच्चा राम है। हर शरीर मंदिर सा पावन, हर मानव उपकारी है, हर शरीर मंदिर सा पावन, हर मानव उपकारी है। जहां सिंह बन गए खिलौने, गाय जहां मां प्यारी है, गाय जहां मां प्यारी है। जहां सबेरा शंख बजाता, लोरी गाती शाम है, जहां सवेरा शंख बजाता, लोरी गाती शाम है। हर बाला देवी की प्रतिमा, बच्चा बच्चा राम है, बच्चा बच्चा राम है। लोरी गाती शाम शाम इवनिंग। जहां कर्म से भाग्य बदलते, श्रम निष्ठा कल्याणी है, जहां कर्म से भाग्य बदलते, श्रम निष्ठा कल्याणी है। त्याग और तप की गाथाएं, त्याग और तप की गाथाएं, गाती कवि की वाणी है, गाती कवि की वाणी है। ज्ञान यहाँ का गंगा जल सा, ज्ञान यहाँ का गंगा जल सा, निर्मल है अविराम है। हर बाला देवी की प्रतिमा, बच्चा बच्चा राम है, बच्चा बच्चा राम है। इसके सैनिक समर भूमि में, इसके सैनिक समर भूमि में, गाया करते गीता है, गाया करते भगवत गीता है। जहां खेत में हल के नीचे खेला करती सीता है, खेला करती सीता है। जीवन का आदर्श जहां पर परमेश्वर का धाम है, जीवन का आदर्श जहां पर परमेश्वर का धाम है। हर बाला देवी की प्रतिमा, बच्चा बच्चा राम है, बच्चा बच्चा राम है, बच्चा बच्चा राम है। बोलो भारत माता की, भारत माता की। वंदे वंदे। नमस्कार मुद्रा। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। हरिः ओम तत्सत्। श्री कृष्णार्पणमस्तु।